Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormy B Man for this Friday, November 7th, 2025. This is number 203 in the series of Chop Sessions, and we're simply calling this one Flaz versus Johnson, Welterweights, featured on Probox TV. The fights wrapped up just a bit ago. After watching the fights, man, they were exciting. The whole card was pretty good. I had to readjust the start time of the show, because I set it back a little bit too late, because the fights were ending early because they had a lot of knockouts. But Probox TV, oh my goodness, you guys. Isn't it great to have boxing on a weeknight where, you know, it takes us back to the old Tuesday night fights and sometimes even Friday night fights from ESPN and USA TV, man, for those who are old enough to remember those shows. But what a card tonight, man. They did themselves well. Probox TV, because the matchups tonight were great. They were exciting. We had some veterans mixed in with some young lions, and we had some young lions looking to take that next step up, and boy, they did not disappoint with the action. This is what happens when you put people in with one another in prime opportunity and times. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. This evening's Friday night show is going to be a little bit of a post-fight and preview show, because we got a big card coming up tomorrow night. But we're going to start off the show talking about Flaz versus Johnson. So welcome everybody out there. I appreciate anyone that decided to come around and catch Stormy B Man on his Friday night show. YouTube is playing with me again with, man, my numbers and everything dropping off. You know, I've had some, what according to their revealings, I've lost a certain amount of subs over the past 48 hours. I don't know what that's all about, because I've been doing various content. I've been doing Patreon. I've been doing Stormy B Man's Temple of Culture and Entertainment and the Kung Fu Temple. Listen, man, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make it up. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, especially when my third and second channels are growing exponentially. And thank you to those who are subbing over there, because for the Kung Fu channel, I'm almost at 300 subs, which will be a milestone, and I'll have a special video or live for that, because I want to acknowledge the people who are following over there. And on the Temple of Culture and Entertainment, I think we're at 45 subs or something over there, because that was the most recently created channel. And we got people starting to move around and come around for that fair over there. We're talking more comic book stuff, nerd stuff, and a little bit of other things mixed in over there. So it's more of a variety for that channel. But let me say this, man. I'm just happy to be here, happy to produce content for you all. And it's going to continue. On the Kung Fu channel, I will restart that giveaway over there for movies. Those who like the Kung Fu films, we're going to have like raffles to give away films where I can help spread the love, so to speak, of the Kung Fu experience. Stormy B Man likes to do that for you out there. and we will continue that tradition on the channel. We used to do it over here, but since that has now become a dedicated channel, we'll do it over there. And also, last but not least, let me remind you to follow me on Rumble. I've got the link pinned to get you over to the Rumble channel over there. Give me a follow over there where we can, dual stream. I'm starting to figure this dual stream thing out from my OBS. We successfully did it when we did the show earlier in the week. So I'm kind of grateful for finally getting that in order. So again, it takes time to build, and that's what we're doing here on this channel. And just be patient, bear with me, and we will soar amongst the stars with what we're trying to do on this channel, huh? Yeah! So, good evening, good evening, good evening. Man, if you guys had a chance to tune in to this Probox TV fight card this evening, please put a 1 in the chat. I only see about 8 people viewing us right now, and only a handful have written in the chat. So, if you had a chance to check this card out, could you please just show a little show of support about me speaking on it by placing a 1 in the chat. In the meantime, I'll do what we have a shallow roll call for those who have decided to write in the chat, which is great because, you got a lot of people still peeping through the blinds in the bushes, huh? That's what they do over there. They could stay their butts in the bushes. We just hope that a dog come along on his evening walk and you know what he does to the bushes. Yeah! Anyway, we got the real Mr. Shelton is out there. What's good with you this evening, brother? Universal Truth in the building. Chilltown Majors out there. What's happening, Chilltown? The brother Drew Titan is in the building this evening. Got his channel in there, and we've got Queen 71 in the building. What's happening with you, Queen? Good to see you out there. Queen, I see that you had some reservations about Patreon, but please, I'll tell you like I told my brother Thomas from the Bronx. I haven't put that down. It's just I haven't got around to it because there's been so much boxing. But just like my brother Drew and also like my brother 78, I am dedicated to uploading fair over there. I just did a video yesterday for it. So if you would be so kind, give it a second look. You know what I'm saying? Because again, and my brother Drew is out there, he'll tell you, it's not that I'm neglecting anything. I have been very dedicated with the sport of boxing. If you notice, all my premieres, I've been talking about content and material subject matter in my premieres that nobody else is talking about stuff. You can look up there. There's a premiere tomorrow. You can see that I'm talking boxing. I'm not caught up in the drama of these guys that's running around here with purses and stuff and don't know if they want to be he, she, it, them, him, her, whatever, huh? I ain't got time for that because I know who I am. I'm Stormy B, man, and I'm going to talk some boxing, the sensei, huh? Out here for you guys. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So, yeah, but I see those who have put the 1 in there. We got Shelton, Queen, Drew, Universal. Yeah. So you guys got a chance to enjoy this. Man, tell me, weren't those some good fights this evening? We even saw Renee Alvarado return to the ring on a short notice, taking on Dominique Volley for an opportunity to get back into the mix of things. And Dominique, though a young fighter in his own right, was able to handle the veteran. So that was awesome. Seeing that, the card opened up with super featherweights. Ranulfo, I'm trying to get his name back. I don't like to murder these guys' names because it comes across as disrespectful unless you intentionally saying, their names a certain kind of way or whatever. But Ranulfo Bocanegra taking on Julio Lanzas Carrero. The card opened up with that. Then we had Bocanegra's brother, I think they said, Xavier. He took on Sergio Aldana. And then we had, again, some guys that it was pretty much a quick outing, out there. Katsuma Akitsugi taking on Vincent Astrolabo. And of course we had the main event with Nicholas Flaz taking on Delonte Tiger Johnson. Now we're going to go right into the main event, man, talking about that fight, because these two men, Johnson and Flaz, were young fighters who have not only appeared on this air before, but they have showcased themselves in a manner that lets you know that the talent is out there, but the 29-year-old Puerto Rican Flaz looked out of his league, surprisingly, against Delonte Tiger Johnson. Let me say this about Tiger Johnson, man. Well, let me say, before talking specifically about Tiger Johnson, Flaz, who has appeared definitely on Probox before, he's a 29-year-old fighter, and out of Bayamon, Puerto Rico. His record now drops to 15-2 with 10 KOs. And aside from missing everything in the fight, plus a barber on his way to the fight, you know what I'm saying? Because he should have had a touch-up. I used to have a colleague that would tell me when we watched the fights, if somebody had a messed up hairstyle, he'll say he gonna lose because his hair is jacked up. Yeah, take pride in your appearance, brothers. And I ain't talking about coming out there with that false fur on and all of that either. I'm talking about get a lineup, get a fade, Get your the head tightened up, man. Don't come in there looking like buckwheat, Because if you do, they're gonna send you out there to get your embers burned, And that's exactly what happened to Flaz this evening, as he suffered a 4th round KO to Delonte Tiger Johnson. Man, Tiger Johnson came out. Let me say this about Tiger Johnson now, because I couldn't wait to start talking about this young man. Listen, Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr., y'all better recognize this young brother here. Ever since he made that move up from 140 pounds to 147, it is like night and day when he hit people, That boy got the touch of sleep in that right hand, you people. I ain't lying. Tiger is a beast, Listen, when he fought Boca Chica, we were wondering the strength and power that he was showing, the speed, how good he looked. That unanimous decision. We were wondering, was that real? Because the fight before, where he took on Kendo Castaneda, he stopped him in 5. And this is after moving up from last year in September, was his last fight at 140 pounds. Tiger is a welterweight, you guys, and he's a man to be reckoned with, coming out of Cleveland, Ohio. He's 27 years of age, 5'11", 71-inch reach, and he likes to reach that chin, huh? Yeah, I like it because he's right there in the mix. He's right there at the age. These guys should be fighting each other and putting on the shows, and we know that the Probox TV bouts are a springboard toward world title opportunities. Sometimes they'll even have a world titleist fighting on their air, a la Lamont Roach. So, hey man, this is some good stuff. In a scintillating performance, I noticed in the opening round, Johnson came out pumping his jab. He was sticking it in Flaz's face, and Flaz couldn't get out of the way of the jab. It was very well executed. The young man was boxing his behind off. Pardon me. I get excited when I see young fighters looking good. I get excited because, as I've often talked about, people at the top of the sport who kind of decide they no longer want to face the stiffest of competition. They don't want to give certain people a shot at knocking them off their square. They don't want to look bad. They're overly protective of something that they haven't possessed yet, which is certifying their position in the sport. This young man is a comer. He's coming up and he's coming on. And I'm seeing some stuff here. I'm like, okay, I like it. I like it. Flaz looked like he didn't even belong in the ring with him, and he has had some good performances in the past. Johnson is now 16-0 with 7 KOs, and I think the KOs are going to come more now because he's at a comfortable weight where he is strong, he is powerful, and it looks like he has a lot in the gas tank. So, I mean, this is, hey, hats off to him for his performance this evening. Queen says he had a chip on his shoulder because he was the B-side. Interesting. He's used to the top rank treatment. No, Queen, it's more than that. You see, that's okay because Flaz, was being built up over in this area in space too. Ever since he moved up to welterweight, I think he's fighting with more confidence now, more strength. You can deplete yourself at these weights, and that's why it's going to be exciting in this month on the 22nd when you see Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, because Devin spent a decade at 135 pounds, the lightweight division. That's a long time from the time he was a teenager until he was into his almost mid-20s, That's a long time, a decade. Devin may be much stronger. This gentleman moved up 7 pounds from 140 division to 147. And he looks more fierce than ever. Keep your eye on Delonte Johnson. There may be some good things going on there. And I want to be in for the ride, so I'm going to buckle my seatbelt to watch this brother. Yeah. So, after being able to show that commitment to the jab, he was going in and he was doing some good things. But after dropping Flaz in the third round, it was shortly before the bell. Flaz looked like he may have been taking that round, and then out of nowhere, lightning struck. Boom! He never recovered from that third round knockdown just before the bell, because in the fourth, he was still a little bit wobbly and foggy. And Johnson did exactly what he was supposed to do. He took him out of there. Got him on up out of there. Great stuff. It was amazing performance by Johnson. And, with so much boxing, I didn't even get a chance to do much of a breakdown for this fight for this week because there's just so much. And my breakdown for tomorrow's fight was this morning in my premiere. So that's what I mean when I said, man, there's so much boxing and certain news in the sport of boxing. So we could talk about it a little bit. But yeah, this was, man, it felt like Friday night fights all over again. It felt like Tuesday night fights on a Friday because of the type of matchups that we were seeing. First round KOs, fourth round KOs, in one fight that went the 8-round distance. It was a good mixture of what we would tune in for a Friday night performance. So, kudos to Probox TV again for giving us that, man. That's great stuff. So, moving on, we're gonna talk a little bit about. We got a little fight news out there. There's an opportunity for Xander Zayas to come back to the forefront after winning his WBO title just a month or so ago. A couple months ago, rather. He's going to take on Abbas Barrouz, or at least they've agreed to fight. I got a video premiere coming out about that because initially it was thought that Top Rank wanted to give Zayas a chance to grow into the champion title, by giving him a defense over in Puerto Rico and things of that nature. But it's looking like he wants to unify against what he and his people may be deeming a weaker link toward access to a title by going after Abbas Barrouz. But I'm going to tell you something. Barrouz is nobody's cupcake. That's a good fight. And again, we're talking about these are the type of matchups that need to be happening in boxing because these men are young enough to get it on. Barrouz, fighting out of Germany, is a fighter that has yearned for the opportunity at the world stage, and now he's getting it. And Xander and his people think that that they're a grade above. I beg to differ, but it's going to be good if the fight goes through, because remember, they have agreed in principle to face one another, but that doesn't mean it's going to go down. But it still would be great because that would mean a unification on that side. Then you have coming up an opponent and Jaron Ennis, who is looking to face someone with a title. If the winner of that wants to face him or face the other champion, that will be great stuff. And this is all we had asked for from the sport of boxing, that these men get in there and face one another in competitive matches. You know, you could like who you like, and we say this all the time. You could like who you like, but let's see people in more 50-50 fights. And that doesn't even mean that every fight has to be 50-50. But for some of these guys who have the status that they have, some of them haven't been in a 50-50 fight in a 30-fight career. And that's saying something. It's saying something about the path that they've chosen, how their careers have been guided, what the fighter is willing to accept as far as what he's doing. So, yeah, they need to, step it up. Step it up, man. In other news, we got DAZN. The app is lining up with Amazon Prime. What the devil's going on, man, with these consolidations? I guess it's the what do you call it? The NWO, huh? Going on in business and corporate as well. All united under one, huh? That's what they're doing. The consolidations. And that doesn't mean that things are good. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm trying to get this. I got light fading in the backdrop. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, but listen, that's not always good, you people. That's not always good. But I believe, and if you already had DAZN, the only thing that's changing is the bracket of what's going to be on pay-per-view. If you didn't have it, then Amazon would be a means for you to get it, and go through there. Even though initially I was getting my DAZN pay-per-views through Amazon anyway. So it's like they've changed some stuff up. Turkey, somebody has gotten to him and told him, hey, you ain't going to be giving all these fights away for free because listen here, you Camel Ninja, you gonna do it the way we say, huh? Otherwise, huh? You may be swimming in some oil. Yeah, that's what they told him, huh? And Turkey is like, I understand. Listen, Lou DiBella was on the Ariel Helwani show, and listen, he was on there and he told you, he's like, you see all these promotions out here and they got that Betfred and all of that, with all this gambling going on in the sport of boxing. They got to do these things, man. They got to mix things up. They got to twist and turn and everything. And you ain't going to see what you think you're going to see all the time because they got to make their money, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's the reality, guys. I ain't telling you nothing wrong, huh? So it's a harsh truth, but a very serious one, huh? So when you got people out there and they think just their dollars can control everything, that ain't how it go, man. Y'all remember that old song? Well, some of you may not remember this because I'm a lot older than some folks, but there used to be, what was that, Stylistics? People make the world go round. Yeah. See that song right there? If you go back and listen to the lyrics, then you will understand why Turkey has kind of waffled and twisted his wings up, and he's doing things a little bit different. See, he done met up with some of them pale faces, and they let him know that we'll put you in your places, Yeah, bars. Yeah. So Turkey gon', toe the line too. I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you're talking about dealing with that 1%, that's some powerful stuff right there, bro. Powerful stuff. Stephen L. in the building says, I'm on the clock, Sensei, just checking in. I'll catch the replay. Thank you so much for checking in, my brother Stephen L. Yeah. See now, Mr. Shelton, you got to come in here with your dirty, soiled, toe-jammed feet. Ain't nobody talking about no damn rappers, I'm old school, brother. Them people whose name I just mentioned, the Stylistics, you guys need to sit back and do some research, and you'll realize when music was real music, not that sampled bull crap that some of you come up on and don't want to let go of, Yeah. Don't forget, Stormy B Man got Beats with Sugar too. So I got the music side of things covered as well. And you can have the rap, Because I'm going to tell you something. Those people who made that music back then and played their own instruments and everything, what do these guys do but write down some rhymes and stuff, and talk about shooting everybody and killing everybody, and then have meetings with the so-called special folks, that tell them, look here, we want y'all to go out there and encourage the communities to do crimes and do deletions and to undermine themselves and celebrate fatherless homes and pregnancies and everything and all of that, And that's what they did. They took it. They said, oh, yes, sir, boss. And they went on out there, And look at music today. There's no such thing as R&B today, There's no such thing as soul music today, But there's plenty of blues, People like me crying the blues because of what went away, because of them sellouts, Yeah. Sellouts. We talking about genre of music that lasted over 50 years, gone just like that, because these fools want to be out there and take a few dollars that they won't even live to keep, because they deleting them too after we're done with him, so do a drive-by on him and throw the gun in the back seat. All kinds of stuff like that. And y'all done fell right for it, Fell right for it. They getting ready to release a movie on Michael Jackson, Do you know what they used to call him? The greatest entertainer of all time. There ain't a ninja out here doing this music of today that they'll ever dream of calling the greatest artist of all time. Michael had people in foreign countries, didn't even know English, singing his songs and doing his dances and all of that stuff from the time he was like 7 years old. Man, don't get me started. Take my show in a whole different direction. And I don't care, Mr. Shelton. You got 45 years of bunions, I don't care. I'm telling you the truth, huh? You don't hear Stormy B Man mentioning them guys you just wrote in the chat, do you? You know why? Because they ain't worth mentioning. See, that's y'all holding on to that foolishness, not me. And you might be 45, but hey, let me tell you something, huh? I'm 15 beyond that, huh? Yeah. On the real. Yeah. Even the music that you hear me playing right now on my show. You hear that melody, huh? That tenderness, but at the same time it's a soulfulness happening there. There's a reason for that. There's purpose, huh? That's not the thump and the bump and the groove to make you twerk your butt and all of that stuff, huh? No, that's done for a reason. Do you know that tribal people originally use beats to communicate and everything, even to the gods, to bring forth changes in the weather and everything, huh? These beats and stuff that they come up with today, you know what they make people want to do? Hurt each other and everything. And be ignorant. Stay ignorant. And you wonder like, oh, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? I'm telling you what's wrong with them. But y'all don't want to hear that though. Because some of y'all, it's affected you. Huh? Like a virus. Yeah. Universal, that's 1000% correct. When I was 26 years old, I was driving around blasting with a big, what we call it, boom box in my car and everything. And I'm driving through the neighborhood blasting Public Enemy, huh? Now, they still worth listening to because of what they put out there. But the point of the matter is, you gotta have soul, brother. You gotta have soul. And don't be soulless, huh? And we're seeing that soulless spirit. It's out there. It's out there. And it's taking people by storm. By storm. And it's very unfortunate. Now, earlier today, I also saw the brother Drew Titans live, and he was talking on there. He said something about, and I haven't had the chance to research this. Like I said, there's been so much happening with boxing that Top Rank has released like 20 plus fighters. Really? Wow. That's kind of crazy, but at the same time, when you're talking about consolidating, it's not crazy. This is what these folks do. You got to pay attention to it, bro. Got to pay attention to what's going on. They got a master plan. And some of us are walking right into it willingly. Other of us are fighting it. And it's a difficult battle. Lewis Hinton, what's good with you? I see you out there. Yeah. So if they have released that amount of fighters, where are those guys gonna go? I tell you where they're gonna go. They're gonna be off the air because they don't want to fight. They don't want to take on the opposition. Man, I got on my monitor in the background playing Joe Joyce beating the crap out of Joseph Parker. And y'all thought he was gonna be Fabio. That dude, man. This is the same thing Deontay would have did to him if Deontay didn't have those issues going on that he had going on. And mind you, they call Deontay washed up, but I have yet to hear them call AJ washed up. Huh? AJ been washed up since New York, huh? Since Andy put them beams on him, huh? He was washed up way back then. Oh, and by the way, make sure you check out my premiere on that he's going over there to Usyk, huh? He wants to train with Usyk now. Man, if you don't sit down somewhere. Oh, if you can't beat him, join him as mofo. Seriously, you guys. He going over there to train with Usyk? Tell me why we ain't never see him and Wilder, huh? Why? Man, just a lot of garbage going on here. I've been wanting this fight for a decade. AJ hid from it and everything. They tried to throw everything at Wilder, hoping he'll get tripped up. And he did. Now they trying to use the excuse that he's washed up, so there's no need for him and AJ. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they in the same tub. huh? So wash them together, do the laundry, huh? And let them get out there. Shit. Talking about somebody is washed up. Fury was washed up, and Deontay pulled him out of the cocaine-laden powder, what was it, mound of powder with his face in it, and he couldn't even show the man respect. I don't like it, fam. Wilder was the only one willing in the heavyweight division to face everybody. Everybody. And they conspired to take that man's titles away from him. Huh? Because they didn't want to see that melanated excellence. That's why he's a continued staple in my intros and backdrops and everything, because he meant something to this sport, regardless of whether people wanted to acknowledge when he was in full effect or not. That's respect. And there's people out here even today, they'll say, Bomb Squad and all of that stuff. But where were they when we were talking about what the injustices? Huh? Where were they? Even now, I'm speaking on the fact they're trying to say he's washed. But having losses to guys like Parker or Zane, that can happen in a career, especially when you've had a lot of other things that you deal with, but it never stopped him from getting up, coming right back. AJ lost to Dubois, and you ain't seen him in a boxing ring. Because I think that Dubois not only hammered his soul, but the confidence that was always shaky to begin with is gone.
You can't intimidate me, Daniel. Who do you think you are? You can't intimidate me, Daniel. Who do you think you are?
Never forget. And all he could do after that was yeah. which led me to play stuff like this.
Are you shocked, Mr. Williams?
Only how sloppy your man works.
Yeah. Huh? And don't forget, Dillian White has something to say about him too, huh?
He got angry because he got booed. The Golden Goose got angry because the fans booed him. He was like, why are your fans booing me? Why is my fans booing me? I'm Anthony Joshua. I'm Anthony A-Force Joshua. I'm a legend. Why are they booing me? He went home and cried.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. See, I've been watching a long time. This man right here, he could still come back and put people to sleep. He could still do it. How they gonna play the Joe Parker, Joe Joyce fight again, back to back? What the hell is that? Ain't nobody trying to watch that more than one time. They really need to do something about this cat in the White House, man. Anyway. PGH Big Dog, what's good, bro? See you out there. So tomorrow night, we got Virgil Ortiz and Erickson Lubin. You know, I did my video on these guys, premiered today. Some of y'all didn't watch it, you know. They don't send my videos out in the algorithm like they're supposed to. So I end up getting a lot of low views, but I've asked you guys countless times, share the content, share the content. That just tweaks the algorithm. If you do one simple thing, share it. If you're a content creator yourself, share it to your own community page, share it to your various social medias. You know, a lot of y'all got several social medias, but I don't get any notifications that you're sharing it, you know. There's 2 people who share my content on a regular basis, and I love them for it. I'm not going to say their names. They know who they are. But I got 12 people watching me right now, and out of the 12 people watching me, the people who share it, not even have either written in the chat or could be watching but haven't written in the chat. But if 12 of y'all shared it, it would tweak, but y'all don't do it. But y'all will sit out there and watch. Man, it's like perverts or something, man. Yeah, perverts. And I could tell that YouTube is pumping the brakes on my sharing my stuff to the algorithms, because each of the videos are getting roughly the same amount of views, between 10 to 15. It's the same. But when I go live, I have over 100 people viewing my content. When I do my post-fight shows and stuff like that, there'd be a couple of 100 people. So why are they playing with my numbers like that? Why? For a video of mine to say I got 22 views or something like that, it should actually be 200 and something views. But this is what they're doing to me to keep my channel down. There's better information and content over here than a lot of the places that so-called boast the big numbers. And I haven't paid for one single sub. Not one. And I do have a third-party app that monitors my channel and gives me the real figures. The real figures. Damn what YouTube say. as I look through my facing page. Even the numbers that are higher of what they say, some of those videos aren't the most prominent people in the sport. So it's like that's higher numbers than what they're saying about the others. So where are the numbers for the others? I did a video several weeks ago on Cecilia Brækhus' last fight. That video got almost 100 views according to what they're telling me. But a video on Benavidez and not wanting to fight Crawford and stuff like that got less views. That's impossible. That's impossible. Because people were pushing for Benavidez to fight Crawford. They wanted to see that. Can't make the stuff up, man. Can't do it. And then when I did my video breakdown of Canelo and Crawford over a month ago, that was just under 100 views. Now you know that's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. My attention got focused on something else. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about as far as my boxing content. If you guys could pull up another screen. You could go to my Stormy B Man's Kung Fu channel, right? There are videos over there. 119 views, 931 views, 291 views, 165 views, 700 views, 295 views, 578 views, 746 views, 2,200 views, 395, 9,000, 10,000, 6,000, 81, 97, 160, 13,000, 65, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000. Those people know that my boxing channel exists too. And a lot of them probably are watching both content on both, right? So why are none of my boxing videos or live streams getting over 1,000? Why? So people like Taco Hat can get all the views? Or these people who be writing love letters to certain fighters, you know? Or these people who just be out there talking shit against the LDBC? But where? Where? That proves my point. This channel's got almost 2 million views, but only 6,000 subs. There's something wrong, people. Something's wrong with the numbers. Notice I didn't do a video on Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali and all of that stuff. Why? For what? Anyway, I'll move on. One deep. Salute to you. You just coming into the building. I've been on the air for an hour, almost an hour and a half. I started the show talking about that. Yes, I've spoken on it. I haven't gotten into Ortiz versus Lubin card yet because I sidetracked by speaking on how YouTube is finagling my numbers and that I can't get the support from the listening and viewing audience to do the simplest things of like sharing the content to help tweak the algorithm, to break the matrix of how they suppress certain content creators, such as myself. When I go live, I do primarily boxing talk, if that's what is on this channel or on my other channels. However, I'm not engaging in chaos and things to shame my community or anything like that, but they suppress. But if people are supposed to have your back, people are supposed to be supportive or whatever, they could do their role and do their part. But they don't. Now you, One Deep 209, may have tuned in to my channel a time or two. This is one of the few times, if not the first, that I see you writing in the chat. But maybe you watch and just decided to write in today. But it's the very thing that I speak of, because there's always people peeping through the blinds and the bushes. Always. But real supporters will support, step out into the light, be seen, be heard from, show their wares. Just like I've done with others. Lubin has an opportunity tomorrow night to really turn his career around with a victory over Virgil Ortiz. I hope he understands what that could mean for him. The ground is set for a possible upset. All he has to do is execute. Lubin is the better fighter. Ortiz is very limited. He's not one-dimensional, but he's very limited because of the way he performs. He also fights off of emotion. I don't know that he's a fighter that can hold his emotions in check. Lubin will have opportunities. It'll just be whether or not he could capitalize on them. Lubin's the bigger man. A natural 154 pounder. Remember, Virgil moved up from 147. I just stuck a little poll up there for you guys. You can let me know who you think wins. Ortiz or Lubin. You know, what I don't like is all the anointing of Ortiz as if he was a world titleist going for undisputed or something. He hasn't even won a world title yet. And that's something to look at realistically, because he hasn't won a world title yet. Nor has Lubin, who has fought for a world title twice. Or was Fundora champion when he fought him? I don't think Fundora wasn't champion when he fought him, right? I don't think so. So One Deep, will it let you tag other people when you share their content? Is that just regulated to me? Like if you share someone else's live, will it let you tag them, the person that you shared? Yeah, I'll probably have to go into the settings because my account is definitely private. Why the hell? Okay, thank you, Universal, because I didn't look it up. He says the Fundora fight was for the interim. Okay. As far as their styles, Ortiz can box a little, but he likes to fight. He likes to engage. Sometimes recklessly. Sometimes he has a bit of a bully mentality in there. Lubin was once that way himself. That's what got him knocked out against Charlo in one round. He can box himself, and he's proven to have a decent chin. He can take it. Fundora put some punishment on him, and he was able to withstand that, even dropping Fundora himself. I would like him to fight a smart fight. You can fight Ortiz, but you have to pick when you fight him during the fight. Turn it into a chess match. He doesn't want a chess match. He wants to try to do away with things and end things inside the distance. But you can switch that table on him and make him think that you're going to box his ass all night long which he'll be more than happy to be aggressive to try to stave that off. But you set traps. After a few rounds, 5-6 rounds under your belt, then you can start going for a fight because you have more experience. More experience. It matters. See, that's the one thing that fighters of today don't do like fighters of yesteryear used to do. Fighters of yesteryear used to use their years of experience, years of fight experience, numerical fight experience. Now, what's interesting is the guy that's the fighter in this fight is orthodox. The guy that's the boxer in this fight is southpaw, and Lubin is southpaw. Will the southpaw advantage be an advantage against the likes of Ortiz Jr.? How many southpaws have Ortiz fought? That will be interesting. But don't sleep on the size advantage that I spoke of about Lubin as well. And when I say size advantage, I think he's an inch taller, but he's been at the weight longer. And he's 30, so he's a solid 154. If you notice, he weighed in right at 154. Ortiz weighed in at 153 3/4. Man, I'm looking at my Instagram. And they pulling up friend suggestions that people that I work with that I don't even fool with like that. What the hell? Hendall, Fearless One, what's good with you? Says, I got Lubin. Lubin is a smart pick. Jonathan Simon, I see you out there. What's good with you, bro? Shamar Rashawn Shalom, what's good? Yeah, that's because I had, I when I followed you, that opened us up with communication between one another, bro. I see you, One Deep. Yeah. So with 9 votes, we got 67% feel that Ortiz will win, which is okay. He is the favorite. DLP, what's happening? Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, you could pick who you think are gonna win. This is not a political thing. It's just basically, trying to look at the possibilities of what's what, Yeah. Yeah. But this is a opportunity for Lubin to show ring smarts, guile. And he should use that opportunity. He should do that. But will he? I don't know. In my video, I talked about his focus. It's imperative that he has proper focus. Imperative. Yeah, Shamar Rashad Shalom, listen. That falls in line with his focus. If he could fight with his head and not his heart, he could win this easily. One of these guys is going to be made to fight the other guy's fight. And what's interesting is the guy who fights his fight should win. And that's, you might say, oh, that's obvious, but it's not always obvious. If Virgil is able to fight his fight, he should win either by stoppage or TKO. If Lubin is able to fight his fight, he should win by decision or like even a stoppage where he could catch Ortiz vulnerable in exchanges. Because Lubin can crack. And he's a southpaw. Southpaw position means that those punches are coming from an angle that Virgil is not always accustomed to. That makes a difference. D21519, what's good with you, bro? I see you out there. Salute to you. Yeah. So yeah, that's all that wants to participate in the poll. Get a few more people in there. Get some more votes. Now it's 70-30. So that's kind of heavy favorites for Ortiz in a fight that on paper it's a lot closer than that on paper, which is okay. That's why you gotta pay attention, man. It could go a different way. It could go a different way. Man, I'm watching the replay of this Wardley versus Fraze Clark. The first fight. Those two dudes were they were going at it. They are going at it, man. Well, I'll close this poll up now. We got 13 votes. 62%. It dropped down to 57% to 43%. It's okay. Yeah. I stopped it at 14 votes. Mark Wunderlich, what's good with you? Yeah. But 2 hours go by fast, man. I was taking my time because just letting things think through. I really was excited about tonight's Probox TV broadcast. They delivered some real simple, good fights for a Friday evening. Great appetizer for tomorrow's big card. And I've talked about that so much, where they should always, treat us to something during the week to help build toward the big fights on the weekend instead of putting multiple cards on opposite one another on the same day. That's kind of goofy. But if they're more inclined to do it like this, you can spread that love and the support of boxing will be there. Yeah. So but yeah, man, it's just about time for me to get on up out of here. another Friday night chop session. It's 203 episodes thus far. And that's missing one here and there over a period of time. But yeah, great stuff, you know. And I want to say thank you to all of you out there that's showing love and support. Continue to uphold what we're doing around here. And I encourage you all to stay tuned, because we're always doing some good stuff here, you know. But my time is up. And I'm going to get on up out of here. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy these fights coming up tomorrow. And we'll be back with a post-fight show. Hopefully with something great to say about tomorrow night's card. The card will be broadcast on DAZN, but it is a Golden Boy promotion. So it will be what it'll be. So with that being said, gonna get on out of here. Appreciate you all. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him. So he never got on steroids.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya.
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know, I mean, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
It's all gonna be the same.
I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. I hit Crawford, but no clean shots, like with all my power. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He knows how to move and everything.
Oh, what a nice day. Look at Jessica. Jessica, what are you doing? You know you can't swim. Get away from the water, Jessica. Jessica, get away from the... Oh, my God. Somebody help Jessica, please. She can't swim. Go help Jessica, run. Jessica, no. Oh, my God. No, Jessica. No, the water is pulling her back in. Where's the lifeguard? Lifeguard, hurry up. She can't swim. Jessica, no. Lifeguard, please save her. Yes, two lifeguards. Save her, no. Please, Jessica. Oh, look, hey. That husband is coming. Oh, you want to get Hey, please, save her. Jessica, they're coming now. They're here. Jessica.